This is the Olympus OM-2 35mm film camera. It was introduced in 1975 and it's based on the Olympus OM-1. Starting along the top, left to right. This is the rewind crank. It's made of solid metal and feels substantial. The mode selector. Manual is obvious. Off shuts off the light meter. Leaving this on will drain the battery over time. I understand it'll drain faster if stored in brighter conditions. Putting the camera in auto makes this an aperture priority camera. The check feature located at the top is for checking your battery charge. The red LED will illuminate if your battery is full. If you're losing power, the light will blink, and at this point the shutter may not fire at all. It's a good idea to keep your camera at the off position when not in use, and check the battery regularly when out shooting. If your battery dies and your mirror locks up, there's a special way to reset the camera. That's done by putting your shutter speed into the bulb position, which also acts as an automatic reset. Turn your camera to 1 second and push in the tiny button labeled B underneath the camera, and then finish turning the shutter speed dial, and you can see that reset is selected underneath the camera. That's all. Now you'll have full functionality returned to your camera. Next is the hot shoe. This particular camera came without a hot shoe. I've seen them online with and without the hot shoe attachment. I wasn't planning on using flash with this system, so I wasn't too concerned that this camera didn't have one. You can buy them separately for this OM-2, but I understand they're not easy to find, and you're probably better off buying a camera that comes with one. Next is the exposure compensation dial. This can be adjusted from +2 all the way to -2 and moves in third stops. It's not really easy to move, so you won't knock it around accidentally. Inside of that is the film speed selector. It can be changed by lifting the dial and turning. What I like about the way this system works is that whenever you change the film speed, you have to return the exposure compensation back to 0. This will be helpful for students because it forces you to think about the relationship between ISO and exposure. You can set the ISO from 25 all the way up to 1600. Next is your shutter release button and film advance lever. I love the way this camera sounds. The advance lever is all metal and it feels pretty stable when I use it. I recently broke the one on my Yashica FX7, which had a plastic lever and was probably not meant to stand the test of time. This Olympus, though, is meant to stand the test of time. This camera's a tank. I'm pretty clumsy and I've dropped this camera twice and it still functions perfectly. Let's move up to the lens. This is a 50mm f1.4 Zuiko lens. There's nothing wrong with this lens. For the most part, it's as sharp as I could ever need it to be on this camera. The lens does lose some sharpness when shot wide open, and there's some noticeable vignetting around the edges. Again, nothing that's a deal breaker, and I actually like this effect when I mount the lens on my Fuji X-T1 using a Metabone speed booster. I keep this lens in my camera bag when I shoot weddings, and I'll use it from time to time for a vintage feel. It works quite well and the sharpness is more than sufficient. Clients have commented that they like the way the images look when I've shot wide open with this lens on a digital camera. Contrary to most lens designs, the aperture setting is located on the front of the lens instead of the back. The focus ring is smooth but firm. The self-timer works by turning the long lever in the front of the camera, and then is activated by using the second, shorter lever. The shutter will fire after about 12 seconds when using it like this. You can't set the timer to a specific time, the shutter just fires when the lever is returned to its resting position, and again it's around 12 seconds. Rewinding your film requires you to turn the rewind switch counterclockwise 1/4 rotation. If you're interested in multiple exposure photography, you should know that there's no practical way to do this, but it can be done by advancing your film while holding the rewind switch in this position. I've tried it a few times and I found that it's actually quite difficult to do. People do it though, so maybe you'll have better luck if you're more patient than me. That just about wraps up this profile of the Olympus OM-2. There are more features that I haven't discussed, but these are all the features that I'm familiar with and have explored over the past few months of owning this camera. This camera is quite heavy, but it's definitely a workhorse and very reliable and is fun to use as a simple 35mm film camera. Working in aperture priority is my method of choice when shooting digital, so shooting this camera on automatic feels natural. If you're a digital shooter thinking about getting into film, or are a student wanting to return to the basics and learn about film photography, I recommend the Olympus OM-2. Complete systems are readily available on eBay for a reasonable cost. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll end this video with some of my favorite shots from this camera. Good luck and happy shooting.